Hello, and this is the problem 56-1A that's asking us to recalculate um, cost of goods sold and then in inventory using FIFO, first in, first out. And it's, we're going to apply perpetual system of inventory. So here I have the information on various purchases on the and sales and the number of price per unit. And I calculated, just price times quantity for each one. So you remember that FIFO means first in, first out. So in what we're going to calculate ending inventory and cost of goods sold in the end of every period, which in this case in the end of every month. So let's take January 30th as our first cutoff date, which will be the end of the month here. 1/30/20, in this case 1/30, just January 30th. Under FIFO, first in, first out. So we started beginning balance and purchases, and then we have a couple of sales. So the first address, first sale, 11,250, and this here is what the selling price was. So we're calculating, of course, cost of goods sold. So what did this 11,250 units represented? Well, we're going to say 128 sale was a first in, first out must have been 7,500 at $75. So number of units 75, price 75. Cost of goods sold is going to be times this in the first unit. So then we have another, we need how many units? 11,250 minus 7,500. 3,750 units will have to come from the second purchase. In this particular case, 85. So $85. And that's giving us that. So let's put some dollar sign here. Right, so you can kind of track yourself somewhere how many units are left. So we have 0 units left from this one, right? Because we spent all of them, and we have this minus 3750 left from the second sale. Then we had another sale, which was January 30th. 130. That was 3,750 units, right? At what price? Well, that would come in from the second layer, second purchase. So it must have been at 85. Because first in, first out. Uh, 318,750. And so how many units we have left from here after we're done? Well, minus this, so it's 15,000 units left at $85. So ending inventory will be 15,000 units times remaining times $85. So it's in the end of the period. So in the end of January, we had a cost of goods sold of $318,750. Oh, I'm sorry. This is so I need to calculate total cost of goods sold here. So let's do a total. So total cost of goods sold for January is the sum of these numbers. 1.2 million. And ending inventory, we said we have 15,000 units left at 85. Okay. Now comes February. Now February, we had another sale, which is 2.5 with another sale of 1,500 units. That will have to come in again, first in, first out from this remaining 15,000. So 1,500 again at 85. After this, I'm going to keep kind of a running total of it. Minus 1,500. Now I have 13,500 left. Cost of goods sold from this is 127,500. And then we have another purchase of 54,000 that at 87.50. So, but first in, first out, first any unit that we're gonna sell next, we have to exhaust this layer here. So we have still 13,500 units. So we're selling here 27,000. So on 216, so right there, 216. So it will first we'll have to have 13,500 from this unit, from this layer, to zero it out. And that is remember it was at 85. So none of this inventory is left. And then the rest will have to come from this $54,000 sale. So we need to take 27,000 minus 13,500. That's not, and that will have to come in from this at 87.50. So again, 13,500 times 87.50. It's going to give us that, right? That's takes care of this sale here. So let's keep track of what we have left from this purchase. 54,000 minus 13,500. So they have 40,500 left in here. And then finally, 228, we have another sale of 25.5. Well, all of it can come out from this layer. There's still 40,500 units left. So I can just take that. I can take the price of $750. And then let's not forget to keep track of. So I have 15,000 units left after this sale. This is the end of the month, so I can calculate my cost of sales. My cost of sales for the month is just a sum of these numbers here. And we have 15,000 times 87.5 is the ending inventory. All right, and then so I'm going to March now. I gave another purchase of 45,000. But first we need to exhaust for March 14th sale. We need to exhaust first in, first out. And I'm going to take this remaining 15,000 units. And it will be 87.50. Which is, and so we can take that out. So none left here. And then we need another 15,000. It will come out from this purchase here. All right, so I'm going to keep track now. It's 45,000 minus 15,000. 30,000 left in this layer. And then on 25th of March, we'll have another purchase of 7,500, but we'll go to it only after we exhaust what's left in this layer of this 30,000. And we have a sale on March 30th, and that is 26,250. And that will be, of course, it will come out from this layer, so it's 89.50. And what do we have left? 30,000 minus 26,250. So 37.50 left in this purchase. So what is my ending inventory? So first of all, let's calculate my cost of sales. So my cost of sales for March is just a sum of these guys here. And what I have left? Well, I have 37.50 left at 89.50. Plus, I have this additional purchase here, which we didn't touch. So the ending inventory is 1010,625. Right. So this is, this is the cost of sales and ending inventory calculations. The problem is also asking us to calculate gross profit. So for that, you need to calculate sales. Well, sales are kind of known to us. So I'm going to go back and for every month. So sales in March were these two guys. Price times quantity, 2250. So gross profit then is simply going to be sales minus total cost of goods sold. So 1050. In February, sales were, let's calculate sale plus sale plus sale, 86.25. So gross profit will be 86.25 minus cost of goods sold, 48,675, so 39,375. And finally, in March, sales were again this number plus this number, 9 million minus cost of, so sales minus cost of goods sold of 504,375, 391,625. So that's how you do, problem under FIFO.